At RaiseCredit.com, business credit is the name of the game. Learn how to build credit that'll look like more money than you've ever dreamed of. Both Wall Street and Main Street offer untold riches to people with credit, and RaiseCredit.com can teach you how to get it.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Ray Reynolds here with RaiseWebinar.com. Ultimate goal in the beginning, tab it and pen, write it down. Let's get it here versus taking pictures. Information's protected in many, many ways. Here's a toll-free number for you if you want to call after the webinar. This is an overview. It's toll-free. It's 800-510-3338. In the beginning, what I'd like you to do is plan the problem. In other words, we've all got knocked down before. Usually it's, I'm sorry to say, friend or family or somebody you know. That's what they say statistically. But you know what's funny? All right, I get two different clients I'm working on today. One goes after a card on their own. I get it for $300. The other one had a lower score and almost no credit at all. I added it to my dashboard and I got him $3,000. When will people listen and learn? There's a reason I'm the #1 expert worldwide. So the bottom line is, don't screw it up. Okay? Plan the problem. What's going to happen? Safety credit. Line of defense. Let's think about it today. Your personal credit, did you jack it up? Did you think it was free money until the bill came in? You see, since you don't know the 29% rule, what happens is you actually jack up the card, drop the score, get stuck, can't get any more. Credit is a tool, not to use and abuse. The line of defense is pretty simple. Okay? When you look around in the city, when you drive around today, I'll guarantee you, you'll see a bank or a grocery store, maybe probably both, shut down, all right, during or basically before COVID-19, and they filed a bankruptcy on that piece, and they wrote it off in their taxes. They're still in business today, but what happened to you? Sorry, I'm going to say you've been doing it wrong anyway. It takes the average person like you, some of you, 3 years or plus to screw it up. It takes me a little time to rebuild you. Never bring the pain home ever again, because that would be no fun. Me? You see, I had to get used and abused as a kid, and that kind of sucked. I would tear apart magazines, hope for a mommy and a daddy. Then I wanted the mansions, the money, and all the goodies too. All right, let's see how my journey basically ended up being. See, I'm going to call it getting past go. I think you're stuck. If you don't have $1 million to $1 billion, what's wrong with you? You have to learn the rules and the tools how to play. When I got to be with Mrs. Hope from the age of 3 to 10 years old, all right, she dropped me off right down to Beach Pier every morning at 6:30. Not one person ever said, "Where's your mom or your daddy?" In other words, no one gave a crap about me. I had to basically fend for myself. She was a she-devil from hell. But what I got to do, learn how to steal and beg out of a trash can, that kind of sucked. But guess what? Since God gave me an IQ off the chart, we're told to recall most things. All right, let's see how I got through it. I got my Duffy collection. I got my Lamborghini collection. I got my mansions. I broke world records, having fun. I parked my race boat in my backyard. I got my helicopter. I got my yacht. And don't forget my Ferraris too. Why haven't you done this? What's wrong with you? I don't get it. If a guy like me, born in a friggin' taxi, in the $1 billion family, she wanted a girl. She's only 15. I'm a boy with a wee-wee. So what does she do? Give me a freaking girl's name, raise my middle name, and threw me away like a piece of crap. I just got pissed off to make sure I found out one thing: how to go get it. Unfortunately, most of you, sorry to say, half of you are lazy. The other one would hand it to you. Some of you really want to go get it today. Let's see if you want to play. Because me, I broke and I got 100,000 at 9.5, $1 million at 14, double billion at 26. How am I doing so far? It's like that first set of books I wrote years ago, 43 years ago, Winning the Game of Business. To me, this is a damn game. I want to win. You see what I got to do at 7.5 years old? I found out a corporation's a legal person. I connected the dots. 9.5, I set up Helping Hand Industries. By the way, they brought in money, 100,000 of credit. I got grant money too. Kind of fun. Maybe today I can get you to listen and learn. Who knows what a concept that would be. If you give me 90 days, let me do the work for you. But remember, if I tell you to do one or two things, you better do that first, because that 90-day working day is not hard to do. Just like the one this morning. I popped in $3,000. You had no score at all. The other one is screwed up and got a $300 card. Are you kidding me? The bottom line is simple. At every seminar, workshop, and boot camp, you're stuck with me. I don't pass the buck. But again, what can I say? You lose your job, you got an emergency, what happens next? You run out of money, you run out of credit, and what do? You run out of time too, and you jack it all up in 42 days. Ask yourself a question. Why aren't you to the million to billion dollar dream? Why do you use the wrong money almost every time you start a business? All right, why don't you know how to play the game? I don't get it. You see, when I trained Ken Yarborough years ago, TRW and Asperian, he was basically what? The security chief. You know, we had some fun. Why don't you Google Credit Services Act today? It'll tell you the Federal Trade Commission, credit repair is a scam, not allowed to collect money up front. It'll refer to you the Credit Repair Organization Act too, where it says attorneys can't do credit repair. Now let's stop the guessing and listen and learn. Let's build that relationship with me. Let's go get the dream. You want an 820 credit score? That's okay. Years ago, I created Rapid Rescore. I own the rights to that too. So what do on a 500 score? I just push your credit score to 708, and then when I'm done, it's an 820. You want one of those today? Let me know. It's pretty simple to do. Now, I need you to do yourself a favor. Come on, ladies. Let's pull out that Social Security card. It's in your purse next to your feet. Gentlemen, it's probably in your back pocket, too. You got one SSN because you were told to. Just like I was as a teenager. Get the SSN, get the job. We're a bunch of sheep. You see, you're connected to the 1040 tax return. You got one of these. This is why you bring the pain home, because you didn't know how to play. Look at the card in front of you. Go ahead. It says do not laminate. Don't use for ID purposes. Don't carry with you. It's not even yours. Look at the application we filled out as a teenager. It's in front of you. Then look at the card you got now. It says property of social administration and not you. Even the creditors use it and abuse it, and they're not allowed to. Rapid Rescore blocks the crap, pushes the score up. Would you like an 820? Let me know. But you're going to have to listen, learn, and do exactly what you need to do, because this will work for every one of you. I like to repackage your life, your house, your car, your bank account, because that's just kind of fun. But you're going to have to listen and learn and not bring the pain home ever again. Now, I've been in 2 comas in my life, and that kind of sucks. You see, credit saved my life as a kid and as an adult. So let's think about this today. Every time I hear some ding-dong say, money for a rainy day, all that is blah, blah, blah. In my life, it doesn't rain, it always pours. So let's think about something today. Let's say you need $5,000. You need it now. Go ask your friends, your family, the bank. They're all going to say no. What if you had a safety credit card in your hand? Like the one I have in my hand, too. If I had to max it out for $5,000 to save my problem, by the way, the payment's $50 a month. I'll bet you most of you waste that every other day. You know what they say about most of you? You waste $140 a week. Is that true? I want you to think about credit, personal credit today. You see, you can't write off a card at the interest rate at all. Personal credit has to be called safety credit. Now, let's understand something. If you're wasting $600 a month, if we took a credit card for $50,000 and had to max that sucker out, the payment is $612.26. You could have got a franchise. You could have started a business. Maybe you deliver some pizza today. Stop wasting your money, please. Learn to play the game. But again, we got to think about this. All right, you've been knocked down. Have you asked why? Look at today and look at your past. Where you want to go now? You want to go get it? How many of you want to be a millionaire today? Raise your hand so I can say that's called silly and dumb. You only get to keep $375. The rest goes into taxes. Now, how many people want a $1 million corporation? Raise both hands and say, I do. You see, you don't pay tax till you make a profit. The bottom line is you got to learn how to play the game. You're going to need safety credit and a line of defense. Because when you see that city and you see that bank and that grocery store today that I'm telling you the truth, remember me. They bankrupted that damn piece. They wrote it off in their taxes. They're still in business today, but you brought the pain home. Realize one thing. Reach your goals. I did all my goals by the time I was 26. Double billion, by the way. Haven't had a paycheck for over 20 years. Let's think about this. Believe in yourself. Me? I believe in God and I believe in me. When I broke the world record for the highest kick on the planet still today in 1981, that just proves one thing. White men do jump. Just stupid people say we don't. Don't you ever listen to someone say you can't do this or that. God gave you a gift and a dream. Why don't you see it and believe and go get it? I've been doing it since the day I was born. Now let's look at that SSN you got. Why'd you get it? You were told to get that to get the job. It connected to the 1040 tax return. That's all it was supposed to do. But now you got 2 write-offs and you're the duck. Yeah, you got your Aspirin, your Transio, and Equifax too. And the moment you jack up a credit card past 29%, you drop your score, you get stuck. Hell, you can't get any more. But that's on you. I want you to think about something today. The other reason you got an SSN, because we're the collateral for the United States of America Incorporated, by the way. Ever since Nixon took the gold standard out, guess what? They print money 24/7. Do yourself a favor, write down Ray's rules. And write down $100,000 of personal credit. Don't tell me that's too much. The last time you lost your job, you were afraid to lose your house, your car, and feed your family too. $100,000 of credit, don't use more than 29%. That would give you $71,000 of safety credit in case you lost your job or there's a pandemic. Bottom line is you got to feed your family up to 2 years. Personal money and credit, you're using that to roll the dice? Are you kidding me? I don't get it. Why would you hurt your family? Never bring the pain home, because that's called silly and dumb. I want you to use the right money anyway. We got to have some fun. You need to master Ray's rules and tools. I've been doing this for 43 years. Kind of fun too. You see, there's me in a coma at 5.5 years old. I hit the curb with my face going 40 miles an hour, going plop. They told me I'd never walk again in my life. The hell with that too. There's me in another coma in 2009. Now, what did I do wrong? With billions of dollars, nobody gave a damn. But you know what I did? My wife wanted to take people to watch the fireworks on July 4th. And then July 5th, what do I get? I get pandemic number 9. That kind of sucks, and I get to die. But I made a promise to God that day, and He gave me a second chance too. Pandemic number 9. Now we got 19. What about the next one that's going to come down the road too? You better plan this time, and you better train your family too, because we're not done. The bottom line is there's my yacht and race boat. Where you park yours again. I was the second largest advertiser in Los Angeles for 32 years. I got no BS to give you, but I'll get you to million to billion if you allow me to. There I am in that coma again. Then they call it H1N1 too. You see, after the coma, I got to walk around for 5 weeks with an oxygen tank. That kind of sucked. But I knew how to block all the crap and put my score back to an 820. Then I popped another $1 million credit card again. You play with me, well, guess what? You'll learn the rules too. Bit of play to win. Today, we don't get a do-over. We get to live or die. COVID-19 can wipe us all out. I'd say wear a mask today, but that's up to you. If I knew someone was going to come on my yacht with swine flu pneumonia and kill me, hell, I would have put a bubble around my friggin' head. Who the hell wants to be dead? I don't want to be dead at all. I don't want my life destroyed. Are you kidding me? It takes a moment to die and a lifetime to live. Which one are you going to pick? This is on you today. Now, I want you chasing the money. I love money. I really do. It's one of my top 10, not my top 5. But see, my problem is this. I got total recall on most things. If I think about the trash can I had to eat out of at 3 years old in Redondo Beach Pier, I'd see it, I'd smell it too. That sucks for me. So the reality is pretty simple. Money allows me not to steal and beg off the pier, feed my family, pay my damn bills, and I get to help you. You ready to play? You got your tablet and pen? 9 out of 10 people, every time I turn around, say, I don't like my job anyway. You and me, we're getting older, slower. We're not as pert as we used to be. Go back to the job you hate. It's okay. Eventually they're going to fire you anyway. Then you're going to deliver some pizza. Is that your true American dream today? The bottom line is up to you. I want you to remember something. I got to be with Mrs. Hope from 3 to 10 years old. Every Wednesday night she had a damn poker game. I stood outside my bedroom, which is the pantry. Kind of sucks. But you know what they said one time? They said a corporation's a legal person. You know what I did? I heard my way out of hell if I could figure it out. So I rode my little bicycle the next day, because I couldn't sleep all night, to the Torrance Police Department. There was a library next door. I went in and asked the lady, would you help me please? Here's a microfiche. Here's a book, young man. I got pissed off. I'm reading a page at a time, having fun. Luckily, God gave me a brain to use. You've been looking for the blueprint, the rules, and the tools ever since day one, too. Problem is, you don't got $1 million or $1 billion, do you? But let's understand something. What I did, I got pissed off. I went to the library almost every day from 7.5 to 9.5 years old. Then I wrote the rules and the tools myself. The Millionaire's Founders Kit's right there in front of you. That's how I got the 100,000 in nonprofit helping hand. That's how I got the first million at 14, double billion too. It's in those books and CDs. You see, I even had up to $841 million real estate before the coma. The reality is I had also buckets of money too. Don't forget I wrote Winning the Game of Business 43 years ago. You know, when I was at the Bonaventure every Wednesday night for 32 years, there was a line around that hotel waiting to get hold of me. I used to sell that for $20,000 a pop. Now understand something today. The credit hotline went in March when they shut down their office. All right, they all went home to get the unemployment check, the extra money they weren't entitled to. Guess what we found in their warehouse? My books and CDs. I want you to think about this today. And this is the afternoon webinar, so listen very carefully. Because when you sell something during the webinar to me, then basically you get to get a bigger discount this afternoon. This is the last week before Christmas week. So today, instead of $9.99, if you haven't got the books and CDs, I'm normally going to tell you it's $1.99, no, $2.99 or $4.99. Listen carefully. Today, all right, if you Zelle, so I don't have to pay commission to a sales rep, I will give that 18 books and CDs to you for $1.99. That's only if you Zelle it now. Because I'm reading the two people today saying, Ray, if I Zelle it during the webinar, all right, so you don't have to pay commission, can I get a bigger discount or more credit line for me? Let's see if you're going to basically, I'm going to call your bluff. Now, I love Zelle. I think Zelle is one of the greatest things they ever created. Or deposits or wires. I don't like merchants. I think they suck. The reality is they can't hack. I like Zelle right away. Take a picture of this today because I'm going to basically call you two on it because you said you wanted a bigger line. You said you wanted a bigger discount if you Zelle during the webinar so I don't have to pay a commission. Let's see if you're full of you know what or if you're going to stand up and play the game. There's a Zelle the wire deposit today. You can basically, if you do it right away, all right, email Gina at ray@rayscredit.com. She'll make sure the order's fulfilled. Now, what I want to do is rebuild your credit my way. Rapid rescore, block your crap, give you a corporation, book, CDs, classes. But I want you to listen very carefully. Every card in your purse or wallet right now need to be at 25 to 29%. That's how you maintain an 820 credit score. You don't jack it up, drop your score, get stuck, can't get any more. And remember, trade lines is a friggin' joke. Half of you, I got to tell you, get rid of that crap or authorized user crap too. I got to make you a qualified CFO. That's the truth. If you allow me to add you to my dashboards, I can do that right away. Now, the gold card. I love these cards. As long as they're paid over time, the 29% rule does not affect at all. You can also push them up to $1 million too. Now, if you want one today, let me know. The bottom line is there are 4 ways to make money with me. First of all, I'd always talk about real estate because that's half the fun. But now that scares you know what out of me. You see, half those people are paying their rent checks. Now, half people actually need help. The other ones are just milking the landlord and screwing them out of money because they don't have to pay during COVID-19. That's not very fair, but they still have their job. So be careful if you're going to do real estate. I tell you flat out, let's do commercial real estate. They don't pay, they gotta get the hell out. And you can leverage it by 10. So if you want to play real estate with me, I'll teach you how to get to $100 million to $1 billion too. Maybe you want to do a fixer-up or duplex or fourplex or apartment complex too. Now me, I like to tell you to get a franchise. All right? Pandemic 9 kills me. We got Pandemic 19. What happens when the next one comes down the road? All right, it's happened for years and years. This time you're going to have to pay attention. You see, if you're going to get a business, you want one that's got a drive-through because they're open through pandemic, whatever it's going to be. Maybe it's going to be a pizza, McDonald's, a Taco Bell, or Wendy's. Doesn't matter to me. As long as there's a line out the door, we get to pay our bills. Profit sharing today. Now me, I was the incorporator for a lot of rich and famous people for years. I learned how to leverage money and credit. I found out the rules. I made them up myself too. 84 ways to turn these into 99 more. Remember, corporate credit, you can write out the interest rate on the card. You can't do that on a personal card at all. So if you want to learn how to play, let's look at a Lamborghini out of my collection. Kind of fun. Didn't belong to me. It belonged to the corporation, of course. I just had the keys. You see, you're the registered owner to a car. Sorry to say, that makes you a duck. Quack, quack some more. See, everyone you see that are rich and famous people today, they drive company cars and they write it all off, but not you. You get your paycheck. You get to pay that tax. You get the leftover. Oh, goody. You pay your bills. You pay for a car you should not. Then you're stealing the money and the credit from the family going, wee, honey, let's hurt the family some more. Do you understand being a registered owner is a duck? Why don't you get a tax ID and get a fleet price? Why don't you change the registered owner of the car you're driving today to a damn corporation's division versus you? I don't get it at all. You see, they call a paycheck taxable income, by the way. You're paying the payment, the gas registration, insurance, too. Why don't you yell the word no right away? Yell it as fast as you can, because I like collections of cars. Well, then we can write it all off, too. How many Lamborghinis you want to see? It's kind of fun for me. So let's look at SS4. Remember, SSN equal to what? We got the job. We got a 1040 tax return. SS4, oh my goodness, guess what we get to do? Remember, this is the IRS rules. Corporation does not pay tax till it makes a profit. Look at line 10 right there. It says banking and credit purposes. I get to write off the card and the interest rate too. But the reality is, without me setting it up for you, good luck. It takes an affiliate like me that knows how to do it. I've been doing it for 43 years. You ready to play? And get out that tab and pen this time, because you didn't do it in the beginning, half of you. Draw the square. Draw 3 more squares below that too. Debt follows SSN, SS4. Who wants to be the duck? Is it you? One SSN. Are you kidding me? SS4? Today, you could learn that I wrote rules in '86 called the line of defense. You see that bank and grocery store that shut down, that bankrupt that piece, wrote it off on their taxes, still in business today. But what happened to you? You brought the pain home because you didn't learn how to play the game. You ready to play? You see, it's like divisions for me. Divisions, when I do them, I fill out the forms, I have you sign it, send it away, but then I do the tax ID and then credit reports and the history too. Today, we usually charge $500. Now listen carefully. Anybody who Zells $6.99, instead of getting 3, I'm going to give you 9. I'm going to call those 2 out today, see if they're so full of it today, see if they're going to step up at all. They better step up. If not, guess what I'm going to do? I'm not going to allow the sales team to sell them anything else. You see, when you challenge me, I'm going to challenge you. Zelle wire deposit. There you go. Up to you. Let Gina know. The bottom line is this. If you allow me to build it for you, for every SS4, I can get you all the credit you want. You know, SS4 builds an Experian, trans you an Equifax too. Why would you ever steal the money from your family? I don't get that at all. Now double the amount of credit if you Zelle today during the webinar. You see, there's $25,000 of credit. $25,000 is usually 10%. That's usually $2,500. Today it's $19.99, and instead of $25,000, I'm going to make it $50,000 of credit, as long as it's Zelle during the webinar. All right, I'm not paying commission for somebody when I sold it to you. You Zelle, you wire, you deposit. Reality is you let Gina know. Now let's understand something today. SS 4 times 4. Please don't name a corporation after you. That's called dumb. Don't name it what it does. That's double dumb too. If you allow me to do this right for you, I want you to have a division of subsidiaries and more for everything you're going to do. For instance, real estate, franchise, current business. If you allow me, I can get you a $100,000 card or a $1 million card too. Would you like them both? The next thing is I already tried to offer you $50,000 of personal credit. Remember, 29% up to that $100,000 would have been $71,000 of safety credit. Okay, there's a pandemic. In case you lost your job, you don't hurt your family. You never bring the pain home. Ray's rules are pretty simple. SSN, now you know it equal to what? 1040 tax return. SS4 line 10 says banking and credit purposes. Start using the right money in the first place. It's right in front of you. Tell me the difference. Come on, people. You should have learned this like I did at 9.5 years old. I had to get out of hell. So the bottom line is, why don't you know this stuff today? Oh, no one told you? No one told me too. I had no choice. I had to read every book I get my hands on. SSN equals a 1040. Oh, you got your 1040, you got 2 little tax returns. All right, 2 little deductions if you're lucky. SS4 times whatever. Oh, it equals 1120. Get to write off the credit and the interest rate too. Hey, let's go get some corporate credit today. Now, here's the problem. Like I said, all right, one person today did their own. I don't need Ray, I got a $300 card. Are you friggin' kidding me? What stupidity is that? When I add you to the dashboards for you, corporations and divisions, just because you green lights, don't go get it. Don't screw up what I'm going to do. I had somebody today, they just had an open sky. And what did I do? I popped them a $3,000 cash card. All right? My limits for you will be 10 times more than you could ever do. Don't apply during the program. Credit rebuilding, pretty simple. Credit rebuilding and rapid rescore. Office sales are for $9.98. That's pretty good. During the webinar, I'm going to hand you a $1,000 credit back to you. But what I want to do for you is charge you $499. So $499 half price. I'm going to give you a $1,000 card, but today I'm going to give you $2,500. If it was Zelle during the webinar. 3 people today tried to get sales to give them this price, and I said no. When I say something, I expect it to be done, not to pay commission when I'm giving it away. So don't make me do that today. Starter package to be the millionaire. How many of you want to be a millionaire? Raise your hand as high as you can so I can call it silly and dumb. You only keep $375. The rest goes into taxes. How many want to be a millionaire corporation? Raise both hands and say, I do. You see, you don't pay tax until you make a profit. So if I get you the 820 score, articles, also as tax ID, and I put you in the workshop for 90 days for setup and level 1, I want you to pay attention today. They sell it for $19.99. That's a good price. Today, listen carefully, because I'm going to call the 2 bluffs today. All right, what happens is you get it for $9.99. During the webinar, you're getting $20,000 of credit, you two. Let's see if you're full of it today. $9.99, $20,000 of credit. There you go. As long as it's Zelle during the webinar, I don't have to pay a commission at all. But if you call the office and they have to pay commission, then you get the half price. You still get that, but you only get half the credit offered today. Millionaires in the making, pretty simple. This one comes at $25,000 of credit. $2,499 today. If you do that, all right, it's $50,000 of credit. I'm calling their 2 bluffs. You got it. You Zelle your wire deposit. Not done during the webinar? Oh well, you missed out on you. So when you ask me to do something, I'm going to do it. I'm going to follow through, but so do you. You get any referrals to me? Anybody who buys anything, I'll give you $1,000 more credit to you. Kind of fun too. Now if you're watching me on Google, Facebook, and YouTube, okay, what if you're missing the PowerPoint in front of me? If you are, go to racewebinar.com. Get the full overview and never bring the pain home again. This is what I learned at 7.5 years old. I'm being used and abused as a child physically and mentally, and they're trying to screw me over. Are you kidding me? I paid attention to what they had to say. They said basically a corporation is a legal person. It's not legal advice. It's right in front of you. It's Chapter 18. Do you know corporations have more rights than you and me? You want to learn how to play? It's up to you. Now let's look at the United States of America Incorporated, by the way. They set up their line of defense, but why haven't you? Every state's a corporation. Every state set up their line of defense too, called divisions, old called cities, they're corporations too. Why haven't you set up your line of defense? What's wrong with you? Are these turned on today? You got the ability to do this right. And I know 5 of you, you got corporations before you met me, you paid $3,000 plus and didn't do a damn thing after that at all. Bottom line is this, like I said, plan the problem just like they did. You see, they invented a Chapter 9 bankruptcy too, just in case blank hit the fan. You got a choice to listen and learn. I pray to God you listen and pay attention to me. Because why? You are we the people, by the way. You got a choice to listen and learn. Nixon took the gold standard out, gave him the key to the printing press. You got your SSN like I did as a teenager to get the job. Got the 1040 tax return. Oh, goody. Mama, she delivered a baby this morning. It is federally mandated that every hospital hand mama an SSN form within 3 hours or less. If mama don't sign that form, baby ain't going in the stroller, car seat, can't go home. They got to know how much more money to print. Know the rules and the tools. Personal credit SSN is safety. Corporations SS4, what we're going to do is have credit to the corporation. We're going to set up the line of defense, division, subsidiaries, and more. Something goes wrong with a piece, you know what we're going to do? Exactly what that bank and grocery store did in your city today. Stop bringing the pain home. If rich and famous people can file bankruptcy and say rich and famous every day, and cities can do it, so can you. But it's your turn. The Reynolds University, 22,000 square foot building before the coma. So what happens today when I analyze you on Saturday? I'm probably going to tell you got to do one or two things. But I can't start my 90 days till you get to do what you're supposed to do, so we can basically start building it up for you. It's not hard to do, but you just got to follow through. By the way, I'll follow through every time. I broadcast twice to 3 times a day, Monday through Friday, and all day Saturday. I don't believe in pre-recorded crap. You're stuck with me. Zoom meetings and private ones are up there too. Got some of those coming up. You might want to sign up for that as well. By the way, I love Walt Disney. I really do. This is in a magazine. It's public record today. What did they do? They filed bankruptcy 7 times. Oh, by the way, they know how to play the game. They have an IOU because they didn't want to pay tax on $1 billion. If Mickey can do this, so can you. But you got to learn not to bring the pain home. Remember, personal credit, safety. Now, I know you're going to look online and you're going to see trade lines. By the way, that's crap. You're going to say, you don't need to guarantee too. Oh, give me a friggin' break. All right? Nobody needs a, supply card in the beginning? In the beginning, we all need cash. Cash credit. 8 credit cards per division. 9 lines of credit, too. Now you can write off the credit and the interest rate as well. Then we'll decide to get some supply credit, vendor credit, marketing credit, lease credit, and gas cards, too. Still got to make you a qualified CFO. But that's up to you. Credit rebuilding today is pretty simple. It's $4.99. I'm going to hand you $25,000. Nope, $2,500. You thought you were going to catch me? $2,500 of credit back to you. If you do this one here, it's $9.99 instead of $10,000 today. If you did it, because I'm challenging the two, said, if I do this during the webinar, would you add it more? Would you do this and that? Sure. Let me see if I can call you out on your bluff today. $9.99. I'm going to give you $20,000 of credit. And the workshops with me too. Oh, you want basically $50,000 of credit? $2,499 while it's Zelle during the webinar. There's the Zelle information. There you go. It's pretty simple to do. I studied Mr. Buffett's father first, then I studied him. This man is a brilliant genius. Why? He's playing the game. Why aren't you? I'm going to roll the dice. It's your turn. You get to play too. You see, authorized user is called crap. Trade lines too. Still got to make you a qualified CFO. It's the only way you're going to make it work today. So understand, I'm the guy that invented daisy chaining of credit. There's 113 ways to turn these into 99 more cards per. Well, that's $100 million. I don't want to do that because some of you already screwed up before. I don't want to hand you too much money. Now, understand, the IRS says flat out, and it's public record today, that the only thing you can write off is corporate credit. All right, cards, interest rate too. So the bottom line is, if we learn how to use corporate credit to finance that business versus stealing from the family, that'd make more sense, don't you think? Raise rules, $20,000 to put up here. That'd get you $1 billion company, by the way. And if you got the intent to rip anybody off or defraud them, please do not. I don't want to testify, get you in a court of law. Now, here's a corporation with 3 divisions. What happens if something goes wrong with the piece? We're going to do the 3-step. You ready to write it down? We're going to disconnect, isolate, incorporate. If we can't save the piece, we're going to bankrupt that piece, keep the other pieces, but we're not going to bring the pain where? Home. Why would we have to do that? Rich and famous people don't have to, so do you. You can learn how to play. By the way, when you bought your house, you probably did it wrong anyway. It should have been escrow closed, escrow homestead, escrow put in a trust. But today, if it's not in a trust, if somebody sues you, they just take it all away. If you die, it's stuck into probate. By the way, your family gets diddly squat. Isn't it time you learn how to play? You see, let's go fix up a property. Let's go play. You see, you fix up the property, what are you going to do? You're going to hire a contractor. They bring out the subcontractors that stand outside Home Depot. Good workers. But you know what happens if they slip and fall and cut every corner they can, and they sue you and take everything you got because you didn't plan the problem? Think about maybe all the property you ever get to quick clean deed it to divisions and do an assignment of equity too if you want to. At the end of the day, when they sue you, they get diddly squat. Why not? Now, if you don't have a trust today, I'd basically Google irrevocable trust. That's what I would pick if I was you. But it gets okay with you if you pick whatever you want to. Now, let's think about this right away. You ready? You still got to fix up that property, right? You know, unfortunately, I watch people all the time say, Ray, I haven't paid tax or I have da-da-da. I say, stop. If you screwed up trying to play peekaboo with the IRS and make a mess, get your butt back in the IRS.gov website. See if they'll give you a forgiveness program. Download the form called 656 of 433A and B. Get your COVID check. Get your butt back in the system today. You still got to fix up that property anyway. I want you to do it my way, please. I want you to have multiple divisions. Why? Pretty simple. Because that'll save up to 70% when you buy from the manufacturer. I don't want you to pay a bill for 30 to 60 to 90 days anyway. I want to use that money to fix up the property. All right, because I'm one of the original OPMs. By the way, when the property's done and escrow closes, it'll pay off all the debt. Now you got up to $200,000 left over. Please don't act like you're rich because you're not. Have you had $10,000 to $100,000 in the past and you pissed it away and some of you are broke today? Why don't you write down Ray's rules, leveraging money, borrow money's not taxable, and the line of defense? Let's think about something. Here's the building, 22,000 square feet in Irvine Spectrum. Every day at 9 o'clock in the morning, all right, the bank would call me or be at that office at the door going, Ray, what can I do for you today? They always kiss your assets when you got money. If you don't have a pot to piss in, hell, they don't know your name. Let's think about this today. All right, let's learn how to leverage money. If you listen to me, you could actually leverage it times 5 if you want to. Banks borrow from the feds times 10. Loan back 5 to you. Maybe if you listen, that'd to be $2 million of borrow money. Let's go get basically a fast food restaurant too. Gonna be up to you because I want to leverage the money. I want you to master Ray's rules too. But again, you got to beat your doubt. You're gonna have to run your own race. Now, if you allow me to, I'll coach you the rest of your life or the rest of my life too. It's just kind of fun. Now, I'm not going to show you anything I didn't obtain myself. I don't believe in blah, blah, blah. Show you a couple of the mansions, show you the helicopter, the yacht too. Why not? You got to get you past go. You see, I used to call this one God's gift. Park my race boat and my yacht in my backyard. Where you park yours again? See, I don't have any time to be full of do for you. I want you to realize the helicopter, the Lamborghini, and the building too. Why aren't you doing this? Oh, by the way, I want you to change your driver's license. Can you write it down for me, please? Sorry, I want you to protect your assets, but this is up to you. You wrote a check over here. There's like telling, why don't you go rob my house? Why don't you sue me and take everything I got? Why don't you learn to protect your privacy? But that's up to you. You got the Driver's Privacy Protection Act, too. The last time you bought a car, what did you do? You let someone sweat you for hours on end? Up to 9 inquiries and lost up to $5,000 too? And you're the registered owner and you're the duck? Oh, goody for you. When they handed you the paper and you signed it and said, you can go ahead and read my credit, you should have wrote next to your signature, this allows one inquiry only, you should have took a picture. By the way, all right, sorry to say, you should be getting a car, tax ID and fleet price. But again, what can I say? I like to repackage everybody 100%. What happens today if you go to the grocery store or the bank and you accidentally bump somebody's car? I need a bumpity bump. They're going to call those nasty attorneys on TV and act like they got whiplash. They're going to die. They're going to ask you for driver's license, insurance, registration, please. And then your heart's going to follow your chest and go, I wish I would have listened to Ray. But now it's too late. Oh, well. You see, the driver's license should have had not your home address, in my opinion. It's up to you. The insurance, the corporation could have paid for it versus you. And you're the registered owner. Quack, quack some more. They're going to call them those nasty attorneys on TV. Why don't you change the registered owner from your U to be a division instead? So at the end of the day, they get diddly squat. I guess you don't want to protect your ass. That's on you. Now, what did I do on July 3rd, 2009? My wife says, basically, honey, can we take people from the church and the school to watch the fireworks? No problem, sweetheart. I took the yacht from my backyard, the largest U-dock in Huntington Harbor. There's the address. Check it out. I said, fill it up. $1,600. Wrote off the car, the interest rate, and the yacht, too. The next day, I get to die. Pandemic number 9, H1N1 too. That kind of sucked. So there I am, going to die. I made a promise to God I'd help people until the day I die. So guess what? There's basically, all right, pandemic number 9. Now we got 19. What about the next one that can come down the road? You better train your family and friends to make sure you get that franchise that has a line out the door called drive-through. They stay open through pandemics. Yeah, I walked around with an oxygen tank for 5 weeks, put my score back to an 820. I popped another $1 million of credit again. I don't stay down. Why do you? That's up to you. You want an 820? Let me know. All right, I'll push it up. They had a 500 score. Got him 708. When I was done, it was an 820. Pretty simple. Now that building in that Lamborghini, reaching the dream. All right, think it'd be the impossible. I've done it all my life. Isn't it about time you do the same thing too? The bottom line is I just want 90 days in the beginning to get you the workshops so you listen and learn to get yourself on track. And if I ask you to do 1 or 2 things, can you follow through? In 90 days, I'll get you on basically the American dream. All right, that's 90 working days after you do exactly what I tell you to do. But again, that's up to you. Motivation, it's never enough, I'm sorry to say. See, I listen to it every day. You know, all those motivational speakers, blah, 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 blah. They're all going broke today because they got nobody to go blah, blah, blah to. You know, hearing somebody's story after they went through 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, why the hell it takes so damn long? Oh, they didn't know how to play the game. You see, you got a story to tell, too. Let's get you an 820 credit score. Let's get you up to $100,000 of credit. Let's get you a corporation and divisions up to $1 million, too. Let's get you to stop being stuck. Ray's rules are pretty simple. That's what's next for you. There's 20,000 to master for billion. If you want that, it's up to you. Don't bring the pain home ever again. That makes no sense at all. So let's understand something today. I want to repackage your whole life. I want to have fun. My wife says if I wasn't doing this, I'd be bored driving her crazy. I haven't had a paycheck for 20 years. The bottom line is she's right, because this is my fun to repackage a mirror when I repackage you. House, car, and bank account, too. Now, the books and CDs today, 18 books and CDs. All right, I give it for $2.99, but I said if you Zelled it during the webinar, and it's almost over, it's $1.99. You don't do that, that's on you. All right, don't expect me to discount it again. Ray at rayscredit.com. Attention, Gina. That's all you got to do. You want the credit rebuilding program today? Okay, $4.99. Instead of $1,000 of credit, $2,500 to you. Oh, you want the starter package for millionaire? All right, $9.99. Instead of $10,000 during the webinar, it's $20,000. If I'm done, you didn't sell it, you still go back to the $10,000. That's up to you. The Millionaires in the Making workshop, kind of fun. $24,999. And what happens today, if it's Zelle during the webinar, it's going to be $50,000 of credit. But again, when you will call and ask sales, I'm going to say not on your life, because I'm not paying commission for something I sold. Zelle wire deposit. Let Gina know. That's all you got to do. How did the 14th Amendment make corporations the people? It did. Wow. The United States of America, I love. They gave us the rules and the tools. They manage 50 states. They're all corporations, too. Isn't it your turn to set up your line of defense? Every state did. They're called cities. They're all corporations, too. It's about time you learn how to play the game. But again, never have joint credit. Buy a house, escrow close, escrow homestead, escrow put in a trust. Why would anybody be silly enough to have a house in their name? Corporation, don't name it after you. Don't name it what it does. Have up to $1 million of credit too, just for the fun of it. You see, When you look in your city today and you see that bank and that grocery store, remember me. You should have listened and you should have followed through. I gave you an opportunity today to get to the $1 million dream. But that's up to you, because some of you, like the one that got the $300 card, how stupid could that be? You had a 687. Another one has no score at all, and I pop them a $3,000 card using my history. It's kind of fun. But getting you to listen, the reality sometimes that's like pulling teeth. I want you to listen today. I want you to have your line of defense. Real estate, franchise, current business. If you don't create the line of defense like rich and famous people do, sorry, you're going to have to learn to master Ray's rules and tools. The bottom line today, plan on the problem. Why did you get knocked down the last time? Why did you give up too? Shouldn't you have safety credit, line of defense, see it, believe it, go get it? You don't have to bring the pain home. You can play with me. Maybe the rest of your life too. You Zelle today, instead of $25,000 of credit, for $19.99 I hand you $50,000, which is usually $5,000. I build it up for you. So $50,000 for $19.99 if it is Zelle during the webinar. There you go. Zelle wire deposit. It better be Zelle today. Let Gina know. You know, the greatest thing I love about the end of the year is I make sure everything's filed from the divisions to the corporations, because the thing that happens is come January when we fill out a credit application for a line of credit, it's going to ask what year you incorporated. If you get to say 2020 and it's 2021, you're on your second year, it says you don't need a tax return at that time. That's kind of fun, huh? What do you think? The American dream, can you imagine? The American dream, everybody talks about it. What about the credit and the money? I'm going to hand it to you and give you the rules and tools to put it here. But again, you're going to have to master Ray's rules and set up the line of defense for you. Credit rebuilding today, rapid rescore, simple. You get a $1,000 card, $4.99 during the webinar. From there, I turn it into $2,500 of credit for you. Ultimate goal, starter package for the $1 million. You get the workshops and all the goodies too. Instead of $19.99, it's going to be $999 for you. If it was Zelle during the webinar, you're getting $20,000 of credit, because I'm calling the two guys bluff today. See, the Millionaires in the Making workshop too? Wow, instead of $39.95, today it's $24.95. Nope, it's $24.99 instead of $25,000. If it's Zelle during the webinar, as they said they would do, I'm going to give them $50,000 of credit. Let's see if we call their bluff today, see if they're basically going to follow through. There's the Zelle information. If you don't do it today, remember it goes back to the normal price. So you got Ray at rayscredit.com. Attention, Gina. It's up to you. You got to stay safe and strong. You see, we're always looking for what's next to come. Let it be you and me. Let's go build that relationship and have some fun. Let's always remember life is a gift from our Father in heaven, the only one I've ever had. God has given us the opportunity to believe and receive. Let's make the best of the day and give thanks in every way. Thank you, Jesus, for one more day. Amen to that. If I can do this, born in a friggin' taxi, and she threw me away like a piece of trash, and Mrs. Hope used and abused me, and I can listen to the corporation's a legal person, and I can master the rules and the tools, so can you. No more damn excuses. You can Zelle what I offer during the webinar, or you can call the office, and then it goes back to the normal credit and price for you. You got toll-free, 800-510-3338. Let's see if those two are going to follow through today. At the end of the day, all I know is one thing. No matter what I say and do, at the end of the day, God loves us all.